Okay. Look at this. Look at this. We're live. We got animated avatars. We just got a follow. Thanks, Dark Force. It's time to run some gosh darn Avatar Legends. Well, we're not going to be running yet. We're going to be doing some, we'll be running eventually, but this is just session 0. We're figuring out, you know, what the heck we're doing in the first place.
Corb.
Yes.
You named George Rico Juke too.
Oh, sorry, George. We don't have 2 Rico
It's fine.
Jukes. Hold on.
No.
See, this is why we do this first stream, to hammer out the issues. I did go ahead and I prepared many different tracks for this. I made my own playlist that I hope were in the Avatar theme. So here's, welcome to Avatar Legends. Yeah. The first step is making sure George is no longer called Rico Juke. So we'll get rid of that.
Identity theft is not a joke, George.
Hope one day to join in a session.
Well, maybe.
You'll find your own someday, Dark Force. Don't worry. What was your character's name again, George?
Give me a second. I have it here.
You forgot
Bashara
your own.
Hang.
Bashara Hang. Thank you.
There you go.
Bashara Hang. We'll just make sure that's aligned properly and give it a little outline. There we go. There's Bashara Hang. There's our man.
Yes. Hello.
Bashara Hang.
Don't leave us hanging, man.
There we go.
Otherwise, I'll hang you a foot.
Hang your knee, what? What?
So, this is gonna be like I said, this is gonna be a session 0, and more importantly, this campaign's gonna be a way for both me and probably the players to learn how the heck to run this game.
Pretty much.
I ran a one-shot of this back in September with the quick start guide, and that was fun enough, but we were doing the bare bones there, like we weren't even tracking balance. But here we're doing the full mechanics, the full playbooks, and by God, there's quite a bit. So,
yeah.
But first I want to just start, asking, what are y'all looking forward to for this? Like, yeah, well, okay, first, here's our players. I set up little custom avatars for them on the stream, but we, to introduce them properly, we got Blackthorn playing Nakoma.
Hey.
Howdy. We got Jay playing Rico Juke.
What's up, chat?
We got Lee Rod playing Baraka Poe.
Hey guys.
Oh, it's echoing again.
It is?
There we go.
It's not echoing for me.
I fixed it.
We got Mr. Dragonlord 28, aka George, playing Bashara Hang.
Hello.
And he has his own stream, which you can check out here. And
I ain't streaming gladly.
finally, we got Salty Pitchfork playing Yuka.
Hello.
As you can see, we got a good mix of benders. This is going to take place in the Avatar Roku era, which is like its own outline of stuff that happens. And I chose this era because it looked fun, and that's the only reason I felt inspired. And I have a few ideas for like an adventure hook, but this is set up to really, this game is set up all around character development, building up these characters and helping them develop. That's what character development literally means.
Congratulations, you graduated high school.
Yes. So I think the first step we should actually take is figuring out who the players are, and then we're gonna move from there. So we got character sheets. I have a lot of these songs set up. I don't know which one is appropriate where, because it's called Sancho Panza Gets a Latte. I chose a lot of songs with Kalimba, basically.
I mean, it's
that
pretty
sounds
good.
Did I call you Riko Juke in, Oh no, Riko Juke. Okay. As y'all can see, I set up these like, starting, these basic stat listings, just for us to easily reference session to session. And I also set up a bit of, like, a play map here. So,
Oh, that's
as you can
sweet.
see, you know, this is the map in the
That's
background, but we'll
pretty.
change that depending on the location. And it's hard to see now because it's like a multivariate texture, but we'll probably have like whatever setting you're in the background, and then it's really easy to track stuff during combat. So that's the basic
awesome.
setup I have going, and I guess we'll play to see if we need anything else. For now, let's stick with this, and let's just go down the list. Each of these characters has their own unique playbook, like they're different, so there's no standardized one we can look at. And although we set up some stuff in roll 20, just to experiment around, for now we're just going to be going with the PDFs we made. So let's look at the first one, which is Riko Juke, played by Jay.
Let me pull up my sheet.
Yep. So here's Riko Juke. Did that close the... That closed the other... Ah, damn it. Okay. I have to navigate back on roll 20. That's fine. We got Riko Juke here. You're of the Chatan clan. You want to just tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, he's from a merchant family, but he is currently an outlaw at the moment, on the run from the law. Because as a child he lost control of his own firebending and may have set fire to his own home, because he ain't a rogue if he doesn't have a tragic backstory.
Yeah. I see you chose Flame Swordsman as your fighting style. That's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh,
That's Elias. It's not my favorite, but it is Yu-Gi-Oh.
he's basically, what he does is, like, he's a showman. He
Mhm.
only uses his flames for shows. He will only makes flame swords in combat, because he promised himself he'd never go out of control like that again.
Right. You know what? Nice. I like it. So a bit of like you lost control, and here we have that kind of plays into your central balance as a character: survival versus friendship. You know, keeping the peace versus fighting other people and harming them for your own sake.
Yep.
Cool. So you have bad habits that you had to choose.
That is right.
So you chose casual thievery and pickpocketing, daredevil stunts. Oh, hey Calico, charming insults of dangerous people, and gambling. So when you indulge in a bad habit on your own, you shift towards survival and roll with survival. And we can figure that out as we go, but when you indulge a bad habit with a friend, shift your balance towards friendship.
Sweet.
This is interesting. So there's actually no punishment for indulging in a bad habit.
Unless I roll a miss.
Yeah, and then it gets really bad. I like that. And then for your moves, you chose Roguish Charm.
Yes, I did.
So you
'cause
can
I'm a very
flatter.
charming man.
You can mark 1 fatigue to roll with creativity instead of harmony, and being a rogue, you have better creativity than harmony. By the way, you didn't add a +1 to a stat, at least on the sheet you gave me, but you can mark it on your own.
I already marked it on there.
Oh, so which one did you give it to?
I gave it to creativity, of course.
So you got a +2 in creativity, nice.
Yeah.
As well, you can shift your balance once at the beginning if you want. So do you want to start at 0? Or you can mark it here on the roll 20 game.
Oh yeah, I'm marking it on the roll 20.
So you can mark it on the 0, or once towards survival, or once towards friendship.
Survival for now, because we haven't met our protagonist yet.
Well, okay. What I was gonna do after we introduced all the characters is see how you know each other. But you know, I wanted you to know each other's characters first before we made any decisions. But a lot of characters you literally need to mark down a PC you have a bond with on the sheet. You could be you're the rogue though, so you could be just the solo lone wolf that barely anybody knows, if that's what you want to go with.
For now, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, put mark once towards survival. You have a -1 in friendship and a +1 in survival. Nice. And is there anything else we gotta look over here? You chose to master sweep the leg, which is fair.
Yes, I did.
And you are a firebender. And we didn't start off with y'all mastering any other techniques. But you can learn techniques as you go. Actually, maybe I should check that to make sure I'm ruling that right. See, this is we're learning together, folks, as we build here. This is what Session 0 is all about. So, when you make a character, blue, shows the group focus. Whatever, that's fine. Named your character. So you're a firebender, and you chose the flame swordsman. So you want flaming swords.
Yes, I do.
My brain is broken just looking at. Don't worry, Calico. As we play, like, it becomes more clear, right? We're figuring this out together as we go. That's why we're in a Session 0. Just looking at the specifics of stats, fatigue, moment of balance, playbook moves, and features. So you get your playbook moves. You get 2 available. You also have a feature, special kind of playbook move, which other playbooks cannot take. Right, you already took that. Connections, combat technique. If you're playing a single session game, you start with single mastered. If you're creating a character for a full campaign, 1 mastered and 1 learned technique. So you actually do start off with a learned technique, Jay, if you want to choose one.
Ooh.
Since you chose Flame Swordsman, let's just go down to the basic techniques available in the core book here, and I'll see if I can offer one up to you that's fitting. This is learned, remember, so you haven't mastered it, but when you use it, you'll become, like, you can use it consistently.
Sweet. Yeah, let me open up my move book real quick.
Yeah, so let's see here. And, you know, let's actually show the folks at home what we're looking at, so they're not just looking at a PDF that doesn't have anything on it. So let's bring this up here. Back. Open the core book. There we are. Nope, those are the core playbooks. There we are. So this is how we look at techniques, folks. So I'm guessing you want a firebender technique, and there's a specific one here called flame knives, which I think would be perfect for you, right? Mark up to 3 fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hold an equal number of flames, lose 1 flame at the end of each exchange, and you throw flame knives at people. You're a flame swordsman. Or actually, there's an option here called Fireblade. I guess that's what yours should be.
Oh yeah, Fireblade. That makes sense.
Okay, there you go. So you can make that a learned technique, and remember that's different from a mastered technique. But that's a learned one you can just have. Okay?
All right. Keep it up for a little bit.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
this is in the core book.
actually,
if you want to just go to that.
Actually, I'm just pausing your stream. Go ahead and continue.
Okay. Cool. In that case, it's time. I think we should move on to the next one, shall we? Oh my god. So, next up, we got our friend here, Baraka Poe. That's you, Lee.
Yep.
Yep. How you doing?
I'm good. I haven't been doing much this week. What about you?
I've been pretty busy. Not in the least because of this stream, setting it all up. And I'm moving next week. So quite busy, but that means you've had a lot of time to think about Bashara Hang, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's look at Bashara Hang, shall we? Tell us a little bit about this Earthbender. You're the only... Wait, no, you're not Bashara Hang. What am I talking about? You're Baraka Poe. So, I don't know what it is about Bashara Hang that keeps, we can't track that name. Okay. Baraka Poe, that's you, Lee. You're an earthbender. You're from an urban environment, blunt, quiet. You're into boxing. I like it. You're the hammer. So you're kind of the core of the group. Tell us a little bit about Baraka.
He was born a street urchin in Ba Sing Se.
Okay.
He likes to fight, and he hates nobility.
Nice. I like it. So like you were a full urchin, and anything like specific there? Like we could make this up as we go, of course, but I don't know, like a noble, like was you had like a noble landlord and they like evicted your family or something like that?
He's an orphan as far as he knows, so he basically grew up on the street.
Right.
He doesn't really know if he had parents.
Okay, I dig it. So why do you hate nobles specifically? Just the class divide? Just a general class analysis that's come to you through your life?
He hates how they're snobbish and rich.
Sure, but I'm just
how-
asking, like a specific thing we can reference in your past, because that helps your character growth.
Tyrannical.
Like, did one like spit on you once, or take away your brother?
They like to beat him up.
They like to beat up your brother?
Beat him up.
Him up. Like Baraka?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were like kicked and beat while you were living on the streets of Ba Sing Se, mostly by noblemen.
Yeah.
And as we go on, maybe we can find a specific one that you remember from your past, flashbacks and such. We don't. Hold on, this doesn't feel like the right track. Let's find something a little more. Here's one. There's Baraka Poe's story. A sad one, to be certain. Beaten, torn down. But the walls can't hold you. You can rely to dangerously smash your way through walls or obstacles. So I'll note here. Well, here we go. So this is specifically why I was asking Lee. You have this bringing them down option, right? So you can change your adversary as you go, but we do need to decide one at the beginning, and I guess it's going to be a noble. But as the hammer, you always have an adversary. A tyrant, whatever it might be. So, do you want me to suggest one to you, or...
Yeah, do you have any ideas?
I mean, just like an Earth Nation noble sounds good. And like I said, I think having one... maybe it's just because I'm moving soon, but I think since you're an urchin living in Ba Sing Se, having, like... living on the streets, having, like, the noble who evicted you and kind of, ruined your life would be pretty fitting, right?
It does sound bad, yeah.
Okay, so just this asshole noble who found every way in the book to persecute you till you were on the streets, and you swore, you'd tear down the whole system, but he'd be the first one. And we can use the core book here, folks, to figure out the name of this guy, because there's a Earth Kingdom name table thing. So if we go to making characters, here we go, Earth Kingdom names. I think we'll name him, Bowen means abundant or rich, and gold. So we'll name him Bowen Kim. Bowen Kim. How does that sound? Bowen Kim.
Can you spell that?
Bowen space Kim. Bowen Kim. Literally rich gold. Just a rich asshole.
They call him Dragon Lord.
No.
Okay. So, Bowen Kim screwed you over. You can mark that on your own sheet.
I am.
So, Baraka Poe, you did otherwise for setup, like we did with the previous character. Nice, I like this description. Poe has black hair and a simple ponytail. Oh, we didn't do this for Juke either, so we'll have to do that. But you do have connections. Actually, we'll do that once every character's introduced. So we'll wait for that for later. But you do get one technique. Just like the Flame Swordsman. So...
Where do I find those in the core book?
Well, let's look at them together, but they're like literally there's a section called techniques. That's
It's like page 280.
page 280, yeah, and you want earthbending techniques, I'm guessing. So you gave yourself like a kung fu style of fighting. I mean, all of them. It was like specifically in that very grounded earth style, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of where is it? Earth Gauntlet.
Earth Gauntlet? Nice. Wrap your arm or fist and rock and strike. I like it. Sounds good for the hammer.
To go with my boxing style.
Sweet. So you can add Earth Gauntlet to your sheet and make that a learned, not a mastered technique. That's something you just learned and you haven't gotten a chance to use in combat yet. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the hammer, Baraka Poe. Nice. Okay, we're figuring this out as we go, making progress. That brings us to the next character, Yuka.
No. Oh, actually, did we want to for the balance for the hammer as well?
Oh, yes, thank you. Good catch. Yeah, before we go on, Lee, you can start with your balance at 0, but did you want to send it in either direction to start? Either towards force or care? Probably force.
When I send it towards force.
Yeah, so just like literally you can use the Roll20 marker to mark that on force. Like your friend Rico Juke did, just put a little red dot or whatever you want there.
Make it your color, that way we can tell the difference.
There you go. Baraka Poe. Okay. Yuka. You're of the Water Tribe.
Yes.
Let's find out who Yuka is, shall we? Hello, Yuka. You're a successor. So you come from a privileged background. You got a perky demeanor. I like it. And you're very defensive into healing. Perhaps to a fault, is the sense I'm getting so far. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Yuka?
Yuka is like the closest. Like I thought of her as like a cleric sort of stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
She's all about, keeping people like keeping people safe.
Yeah.
And protecting them, and that's that sort of vibe. Which is what the healing or defensive style comes into that. And she's very conflicted about her background, which is the part of this excessive thing, is that she's really into... She's from like this... I haven't figured out the politics exactly, but like she's something to do with the Northern Water Tribe, like...
Yeah.
Hierarchy sort of vibe.
So there's actually a lot of very specific stuff going on with the Water Tribe, well, in every era, but they go into a lot of detail in the core book, so we can actually take a look at this
Awesome.
In a minute. But, just the basics of your character here, you're torn between... You can't... Your balance as a successor is between tradition and progress. And that's... Maybe we can kind of shape that, what it seems for your character, between structure and kind of shaking loose of that. You took a point of creativity, so maybe you are more towards progress. I don't know. You took away the few. Oh, you took another +1 in creativity. So if you want, you can actually start off with 3 in creativity.
Oh, I actually put the +1 in.
Oh, in passion. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
We're good.
Yeah. So yeah, because the +2 is from the way of the future.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And you took life of regret. That's nice. Okay. So, as a successor, your big thing is your tainted past. You hail from a powerful, famous lineage. Your lineage has had a massive impact on the world. Choose one domain that's the source of your lineage's power, and another into which they're now beginning their reach. So, you chose state politics, which is fine. That's actually perfect for the Roku era. And you have obscure or forbidden knowledge and spiritual artifacts or tomes, which for the Northern Water Tribe is cool, and then you have these things which you can just figure out as we go. So you already chose all that, but let's figure out the specifics, because that's very lore heavy, that background.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's. I have a vague memory of what's in the Roku era Water Tribe, but let's just take a look here in the core book. Air Nomads, Water Tribes. So right now the Water Tribes are re-examining their role in the world, because the Fire Nation and Earth Kingdom are rapidly expanding. They're kind of concerned about the spirit world. As I recall, the big thing is that they're trying to show a good outward face, but there's a big conflict between the southern chieftain, Kanit, and the northern chieftain, Skiri, who propose different futures. I assume you're aligned with the north.
Yeah, for now.
Right. So Kanit wants to secure political ties through peaceful means of cooperation. They want to appeal to the spirits. Skiri believes other nations have taken enough from the tribes, so very much not into that globalist sphere. They want to, act protectionist, keep the spirits, so very traditional. So that's perfect. This is a very traditionalist line, perhaps to a fault. The northern chief believes the tribes should meet other nations on their own terms, aggression and battle. And maybe that's where you disconnect because you don't like fighting.
Yeah, I could see that. Totally being the sort of conflict point.
And in terms of your specific alliance, do you want to be from Skiri's family? Even one of his children?
I think it would make sense, yeah, because the success is sort of the inheritor thing is a vibe there. So I was thinking it would be some sort of powerful. I think that would be perfect, actually.
Okay,
So
yeah.
some sort of
So
familial relation.
So you're like Skiri's one of Skiri's daughters, the black sheep of the family, who felt disillusioned by Skiri's constant warmongering, and have left home for that reason. And just to look further into the water dispute. Oh, this is different. This is between the Northern Water Tribe and Earth Kingdom, so we'll get to that. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. So, and then we'll get to bonds later, but like the others, you do deserve one extra technique, and I assume you want a waterbending technique? Well, you have to take one, actually, because that's your training.
Yeah.
Unless you take a universal.
Yeah, I was thinking at the refresh thing that was the first healing thing. If that's or if
so that's
too...
healing is something you need to learn, right? It's a learned ability. And I think that would be a good first step for your character. I know you want to be a healer to start, but that's, as you can see, it's specifically under that heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a rare technique, but, well... Okay, You know what? You can start with Refresh. It's not a rare technique, and that is something you would learn just growing up in the Northern Water Tribe, lore-wise.
Okay.
So, yeah, sure, you can take Refresh on. That's evade and observe.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Simple. Easy. So far, so good. And remember, y'all, these learn techniques, they're hard to use. You don't actually even get to use them regularly until you use them successfully in battle. So these are things you just learned before leaving. And last step, Yuka, where you want to start on the balance? Towards progress or tradition, or right in the middle?
I'd say maybe one towards tradition for now.
Okay.
Because she's not she's sort of if she was all the way to tradition, that would mean she's fully aligned with them. But the conflict is starting, maybe. Or, we'll get to it. I might change my mind depending on what the specific circumstance she is right now.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling maybe just one towards tradition.
Sounds good. Okay. You mark one there, and move on to the real Bashara.
God. Hello. I'm the real Bashara Hang.
The
do
true
hang,
Bashara
do.
Hang.
Slightly terrified.
So
but
here's.
I'll be fine.
It'll be good. So your background is a monastic in the wilderness. Quite bold.
Yep.
Let's see here. This. Ooh. Is that echoing?
I don't know.
Not on
Oh,
my
it
end.
is. There we go. I figured it out. Okay, Bashara Hang. Southern Dragon
Yes.
Kung Fu. I dig it. You took a +1 in focus. You're monastic wilderness, perfectionist, chilly, and standoffish. So I'm sensing some Zuko vibes from this. And you're the adamant, so you have a lot of trouble choosing between restraint and results.
Yeah, I have a bit of trouble. A lot of trouble with restraint and result. Most of the time, restraint.
Uh,
'Cause I'm-
Great. You're afraid, you're angry, you're guilty. Well, no, wait a minute. What am I talking about? Not that yet. I mean, you probably will be. But you're the
Probably,
adamant.
most likely.
So,
Are you looking for your honor?
No, I've had a very, very terrible.
George, I will say, I
Fair
think you chose. This was like a good character for you to play because their whole theming
Yep.
is that they have trouble opening up emotionally.
Yep, just like me.
Wow.
Exactly like me.
This is
Just
yeah.
getting out of my comfort zone, but I
Yeah,
wanted to do it.
which is great. So, for your character, what you need to choose is one PC you depend on. The only one you can open up to your friend. There's only one other Fire Nation person here, so that would be the most obvious choice, Rico Juke. But you're free to choose from any of the characters. We haven't introduced Nakoma yet. I think the theming of like the rogue, like this kind of lone wolf character being your only friend,
That could work
would be cool.
in a
But
sense.
like, how do you feel about that, Rico?
Uh,
How do you feel about it?
I mean, like I can see it, but at the same time, Rico would probably have a problem with his. I could see them fighting as friends. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I could totally see
Good
that.
we never actually figured out like where specifically you're from, Rico.
Oh, I already put that I was from Ember Island.
Oh, Ember Island. Okay, that's fine.
I'm not exactly from Ember Island.
Are you from Ember Island, Bashara?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm from the originally from the capital of the Fire Nation, but kind of moved with my mother to Omasho, Earth Kingdom.
Well,
Okay.
so it's cool.
Well, if you're
Well,
Umashu, maybe you know Baraka Poe. But thanks for the raid, real Kiko Bologna. Thanks for, the raid. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
What's
We're in
in-
session 0, so no action right now. We're just figuring out what the heck we're doing.
Yeah.
but Rico is always on the run, so maybe he has encountered Bashara.
Well, you know what? Let's figure out a little more about Bashara Hang before. Maybe we'll choose that
Yeah.
last for you, Bashara. So, just give us some background here. Where you're from? Where are you from?
I'm from Omasho, if I'm saying that correctly.
So,
Capital.
so you lived in Omashu, which was fine. That's an
Yeah,
Earth
I live in-
Kingdom. Actually,
You
if
have
you just want to
Mashi
take a
open.
look at the map here, because I have the map here. There it is.
I have the map. Oh, that's
Omashu, I believe, is
number 2, I believe.
number 2.
I
No,
think
that's
so.
Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, yeah,
that's Buzz.
Omashu is, I believe, over here.
yeah. So I'm like on the edge of like the sea and everything. It's kind of a nice breeze.
Yeah. Cool. So you're from Omashu.
Yeah.
Maybe you know Baraka Poe. And why did you? This is the rogue.
Why did I leave?
Yeah. Why did you? Well, we can figure that out as we go. But
Yeah.
why are you the adamant?
I had a very, very difficult childhood growing up, and didn't really get along with my father or anything. So
Mhm.
I have a very, very strong hatred towards my father because what he did when I was like 10 years old, he scarred me around my hands and everything. So I basically wear like gloves or anything around my hands.
Oh, okay. Definitely getting a few Zuko vibes there in a good way. That's fine. So you were scarred by your father, and you have trouble opening up your walls. Okay. You chose this was a victory, so you like to sabotage stuff. You're a little sneaky.
Yeah, I'm a little sneaky, a little bit more like sabotagey sort of deal. I like to wreck things when I can and when it's necessary.
Fair. And takes 1 to know 1 when you verbally needle someone to find their weakness. Roll with focus. Okay, so that's a specific move.
Yeah.
Oh, your hometown was Hari Balkan, which is the capital. So, was your father like a noble or anything, or you just
No, my father was a jackass.
Okay.
Sorry for the swearing, but he was.
Great.
Apologies. A butthole. There.
You chose to pinpoint
He was
aim
a
as your
ding-dong.
fighting technique. He was a ding dong. Regular old corn on the cob.
Yes. My apologies.
Okay. So we'll figure out your lodestar when we're figuring out once you've introduced all the characters. And fair. Good. Great. We'll give you 1 technique.
Ooh.
So let's check out the firebending techniques in the base book. You can. Do any of these seem? Any of the non-asterisked ones? Wall of fire breath. Fire.
I like
Flame knives, jet
fire string.
Fire stream.
Sting.
Or fire
Yeah.
upon a target. That seems to fit the adamant.
Yeah.
Okay.
My phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do so you literally just set people on fire with that, FYI. That's what that does.
Well, I cautiously like try and set their behinds on fire
yeah.
In a PG-13 way.
in a PG-13 sort of way.
Yeah, like doomed means they gain fatigue every round. In other words, they're literally on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good well with me.
So that's the adamant, and Bashara, you want to mark something on the balance track before you before we finish off.
Feel like +1 in restraint.
Okay, +1 in restraint, even after taking the set people on fire move.
Yes.
Okay.
I try and restrain myself to putting people on fire.
That's his restraint. You don't want to figure out what his results are.
No, you don't.
Okay, Blackthorn, it's good you're back because it's your turn.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, it's dinner time over here in England, so
Yeah. No worries.
yeah.
Yay. Same.
You're last but not least Nakoma of the Water Tribe.
Yes.
So
Originally from the north.
from the
but-
north, originally.
Originally,
Up north.
but my cat was like, "Fuck you, sexism." Sorry with the language. And
Okay,
yeah, moves down to the south.
you moved
With
to the
my mum.
south. Fair. Okay, that's that might set up an interesting dynamic with Juka. Sorry, not Juka.
Well, we will-
Yuka.
Well,
I was close.
I think we were talking about being cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was something we discussed,
Cool. Well, let's go over your base character first, and then we'll dive into all the connections. And we'll do
Yeah.
your connections first, since you're last here. So you're an idealist.
Yes.
You're from your background is the wilderness, so you lived like out in the kind of Antarctic wilderness of the Southern Water
Yeah.
Tribe. Okay.
Yes.
You have a very somber demeanor, it appears.
Yes, very, very. Still grieving because I left the northern water tribe with my mum. Mum died.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
A lot of dead parents.
a lot of.
Hmm.
That's what you need to kick your rear in gear, right, everybody? I'm not going to elaborate on that because
Yeah.
this is not a stream marked for mature.
If Bashara was not like the Zuka for group, I'm the Katara for group.
Yeah. my mother was also an idealist. Okay, so your balance track is shifting between forgiveness and action. In that regard, was there anything like specific that killed your mother? Like, how did she die?
I haven't decided. I have like a few options in my head.
Okay.
But
well, I'm just
I have
asking
no idea.
because your theming is forgiveness versus action. So if it's something you need to forgive for whatever reason, killing your mother, we can like figure that out. You don't have to decide that now because that might take some thinking. But
yeah, I was more leaning towards like a guy in the Southern World tribe was like trying to hit on my mum.
Oh yeah,
kind of thing. She rejected him.
Which plays into the whole sexism theming that already defines your initial character move. Cool. Okay. So if you want to think on that, you can. Because that's going to take some thought on the backstory about how you want to work between forgiveness and action. Personally, I wouldn't forgive that guy. Fuck that guy. Him, but, in general, for your character, it might be an interesting thing to play around with. So, your code is, you've seen a lot of sadness and grief, you're no stranger to loss and pain, but you know the world can be a better place, you have a code, you always speak the truth, you always stand up to bullies, and you never leave a friend behind. So you have allies. We can fill that out as we go, but we should figure out one to start, just an NPC, for you to add.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, a friend from the Southern Water Tribe, some sort of companion.
Yeah.
Your grandmother.
My gran.
Gran?
No, my grand's back in the north. Sad. I just said this is like other kid who's faced a bit of sadness. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just like come up with their name on the spot? We'll use the naming rules.
I just used an avatar name generator for my character.
But we gotta play by the book. Polar water names. Perhaps.
I'm gonna run out of names really quickly.
Perhaps. Nimi. That means they are dancing. That's nice.
Nimi.
Nimi. N-I-I-M-I. Your old friend Nimi.
Mimi.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll see. You might not run into them, but we'll feed as you obtain allies, including members of the group. You can plead with them. Your guide and comfort always succeeds, and you can call them to live up their principles. Always. Which is actually really strong, as you'll see when we play out the mechanics of this game. Oh, as if you by alienating them. So that's a good thing to keep in your back pocket. For the game you chose, your rules stink, so more in that theming. Love it. And can't knock me down. So yeah, I do agree. You're definitely the Katara of the group, which is great.
Because she's also got her mother's betrothal necklace. So yeah, I had I was like, oh, I'm gonna go waterbender. Fuck, I'm telling to Clara.
That's fine. These are good outlines for character growth, and you'll become your own character as we play. It's a good starting point. So you do start off with one technique, like everybody else, and it'll be a waterbending technique. So let's just figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Your friend chose refresh.
Yeah.
Do you see one that kind of appeals to you? Non-asterisked, and obviously not bloodbending.
Yeah, obviously not that. Obviously.
Lad for the blood god.
Flow is
Lad
water.
for blood god.
Flow is water seems like it might be good theming, or stream the water.
Water whip looks cool.
Water whip if you want to, go more on that offensive.
I want to go like a more attack.
Okay.
So.
Or do you want to be like ice themed, like ice gauntlet?
Ooh, ice themed, yeah.
Ice gauntlet, creeping ice.
Let's see.
This
is ice gauntlet. Yeah.
Ice gauntlet, nice. Okay,
Ice
we got
gauntlet.
we got earth gauntlet and ice gauntlet, and when the twain meet,
fire gauntlet.
Yeah. Cool.
All our powers combined.
So you can add Ice Gauntlet to your sheet. It's a pretty simple move. You take a fatigue when you attack, but you become prepared, so you get a little bonus in fighting. And you can punch people with your ice hand.
Yeah.
Punch in the face.
So, now that we're here, let's figure out connections. You have connections. I'm supposed to ask you your history questions now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we kind of already answered most of these.
Hmm.
Actually, I forgot we were supposed to answer these specifically, but we already basically did, including your mother's betrothal necklace for the heirloom. And why are you committed to... So, now that we figured out the basics of this character, I'm going to turn to you all and ask you, what are you all doing here together? You know? I said I have an idea for a starting area. Starting, like, hook. But I want to know what brought you all together to join this group. Oh, and... Sorry, one last thing before we forget. You can choose something on the balance track here to start off with Nakoma. Do you want to start centered, towards forgiveness, or action?
Action.
Okay, mark one towards action.
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 So I was going to start y'all off in the, near the Eastern Air Temple, on, like, the border with the
Ooh.
Earth Kingdom, with a hook that I don't want to specify yet.
Okay.
But
Don't wanna spoil
clearly,
anything.
if you're all together, you've all left home, and at least some of you know each other. And I don't want to go with the perhaps generic D&D start of, you were asked together by a patron or whatever.
You start in a tavern.
Yes. Starting in a tavern.
I actually had an idea that
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
that Rico was just doing a show and perhaps one of the player characters saw him or whatever and recognized him or something. I don't know. I thought that's what I thought Bashara wanted to do that lodestar with Rico, but I don't know how that's going to go yet.
So let's after now that we know your basic characters, we can look at, like, the kind of central conflict we want to mess around with. What I was going to start off with was a kind of imbalance with the spirit world due to some kind of technological industrialization. There's a specific hook in the book regarding that, but it plays really well into the water tribe conflict in terms of spirituality versus this, and there's a way that hooks into the Fire Nation stuff, especially for Bashara. And as for Baraka, you do deal with merchants, and you get you actually can make your own character sheet if you just type this in without the period.
Yeah.
That should work anyways. Let me know if it doesn't.
Okay.
So
With merchant.
pardon?
Well, oh, sorry.
So what if perhaps you all come together because you're all concerned. You've all come to the Eastern Air Temple because you're all looking for a way to well, get away from the systemic forces that have kind of ruined each of your lives, right? To seek this kind of spirituality.
I was thinking also another option for Yuka is that she's been sent there, and then like to look for something or do something by her father.
Okay.
And then like sort of switches, like starts to see something to do with her nation there and decides not to go back home as quickly and specific. But I don't know that just maybe just
yeah. That's good.
Rico's here to see if there's something good to steal.
It might be like a more of a coincidence thing that we all ran together, but also I think with the connection to Nakoma, there might be something that Nakoma has asked.
So,
you
if
could
I may, in regards to the Fire Nation specifically, and this kind of plays out for everybody, but the Fire Nation, it's in this kind of weird position. As you all know, the current Fire Lord will go on to start a 100-year war. And kill Avatar Roku. But that's not the issue right now. He has a sister named Zaysen, who is aligned with the Air Nomads. And the big thing now is, with the Fire Nation, and maybe all the nations, is that the nobility is kind of buying into, like, this Air Nomad, pseudo-Buddhist, exported philosophy. And these temples are being set up all over the Fire Nation to give out these teachings for better or worse. There's a lot of play there between this traditionalism versus this New Age spiritualism, and how that also doesn't correlate with the actual spiritualism of this world. It's a lot of the theming is, this connection versus isolation, testing alliances, resources, and industrialization, and the allocation of those as you move from this kind of feudal spiritual society to this more scientific, industrial, imperial society. So, basically what we need is something that brings you all together as a common cause, or focus, as the game calls it.
Right.
We can actually kind of establish that as we go and introduce you all to each other in, like, the pilot episode, as they call it. But just for a general idea of that theming, that might be why you go to the Eastern Air Temple. If something individual takes you all, that's good. But if you want to think about that while we're going through the connections, that might be, we can figure that out after. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Nakoma.
Yes.
So clearly you know Yuka,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have 2 connections to fill. I recognize some of the pain I have felt inside of blank. I'm going to try to help them. And blank frustrates me so much when they act without thinking about the consequences. I get the feeling that's going to be one of the boys, but I'm guessing Yuka is somebody you recognize some pain in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's an easy one.
Well, maybe maybe Yuka's mother's dead as well.
Okay, that's fine.
That could be like something. Maybe that was like a much earlier.
Maybe that's what steeled your father's heart and made him so militaristic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's something all Water Tribe girls have to go through.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
Someday-
at this point.
Someday we will carry on that legacy of dying ourselves.
Yeah. This is the main reason Yuka's never having kids, is because he wants to stay alive.
That's a very good reason.
Okay.
Don't blame her.
Cool. That's easy. As for, oh, sorry.
No, yeah, that's good. I think Yuka's mother's also dead, and that's sort of they have the same.
And I like how this is set up, because you don't need to all know each other but you at least one of you needs to know 2 others, which means you'll have at least had some interaction with one other person who may not have connections with other people. So I don't know if you want to choose randomly Nakoma, but Bashara Hang, Baraka Po,
Yes.
and Riko Juka, you know one of them, and they piss you off.
Which one pisses me off most?
I would say, like, either Riko Juka because he's impulsive, or Bashara Hang because he's impulsive.
I'm standoffish.
Ooh.
Was there
I've-
like just for the, because you ran away from home Nakoma ran away from.
Well, kind of.
I mean,
yeah.
wasn't one of the other ones also on the run? So maybe you've like linked together and have been on the run for a little bit, and you're starting to really get on each other's nerves.
Who
Oh
else?
yeah,
Who
that's
else ran
Rico.
away?
Rico's
Rico.
on the run.
Yep. You're on my.
I'm the bane of your existence. That's
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out the specific episodic aspect of that. So Nakoma, you and your mother left the Northern Water Tribe.
Yes.
Go to the south. And Rico, when did you leave home?
He technically left when he was around 11.
Okay. And why?
He is 19 now.
Why did you leave home specifically?
Because he basically killed his family when his firebending went out of control.
Right.
Blah.
Okay, maybe we can figure out how you know each other as we go. But suffice to say, Nakoma, you know Rico from your past somehow.
We just like bumped into each other when we were like crossroads.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you're going south and he was going east. And
It's like
maybe
a really annoying.
maybe
Keep running
his
into each
his
other.
impulsiveness, although you kind of resent it, is what inspired your current trajectory in life.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Going back up. Hold on, this doesn't feel like the right music. Let's
Dun 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 dun. Dun.
I like this one, Zanzibar.
The Avengers theme.
Okay, Bashara Hang.
Yes. You rang. Hi.
That's not your sheet. This is your sheet. Bashara Hang.
Yes.
You have to name your lodestar now.
Yeah.
So who's your gosh darn lodestar? Who is it? You know who all these people are now. It's not Nakoma or Yuka. So it's either got to be Baraka or Rico, and it sounded like we were leaning towards Baraka.
Hmm. I think Baraka.
Baraka, okay.
How do you know?
If that's alright with Leyrod.
So you both
What's up?
actually, so Lee, we'll get to Baraka specifics, but you both live in the
How do you know me?
you both live in the Earth Kingdom, right? Because you live in Umashu when you move
Yeah.
Bashara, but you're a firebender. And
Does Baraka live in Omashu? I thought he said he
no,
lived in
Baraka
Basing
lives
Se.
in Basing Se. So it's a ways away, but you've become friends. You're both from there, but you've become friends perhaps when you left home in the last couple
Yeah.
years. Maybe you were both just
became
on the
pen
boat
pals.
route together. We can figure that out as we go. But Baraka is your lodestar. That is, they're the only person you
Yeah.
let down your emotional walls around. So I hope you're ready to
Yeah.
take that on, Lee, because that's what's happening now.
Hope you're ready. Boy.
As the hammer, that's actually really interesting, because the way you're going to deal with this emotional opening is trying to hammer it back, hammer.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's perfect.
But you can switch that lodestar when somebody else guide and comforts you, so you might find yourself codependent on somebody
Yeah.
else, George, as we go.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm going to put this on my actual piece of paper.
So I think we established a bit of your history. What experience of being deceived or manipulated convinced you to steel yourself against being swayed by other people? That was like your father really
Yep.
treating you terribly.
Mhm.
Who was your first lodestar, and why were they an exception? Why aren't they your lodestar anymore? Was that like your mom?
My mum was my original lodestar.
But- Yeah. What happened?
She kind of told me to make my own decisions, kind of. Like,
Sent you off?
set me off since I'm almost 26.
And although this makes sense, it felt like a betrayal in your heart, as it were.
It felt more like resentment towards my mum, but me
Yeah.
and my mum get along like hammer and bat.
That's yeah. Complicated relationship, fair.
Yeah.
Who earned your grudging respect by teaching you pragmatism? I'm gonna say outright that's Baraka Poe, right?
Yeah.
What heirloom or piece of craftsmanship do you carry to remind you to stay true to yourself? Your
I
gloves?
carry my gloves, but I also carry like my mother's pendant.
And you touch it, and you talk about your mother when you... Okay,
Yes, when I'm insecure about something.
okay.
I ask.
Lots of mother's
Oh,
pendants.
Mommy
It's
is-
your
mommy is
betrothal
cute.
necklace. Okay, and
Oh, Guys, we might have a problem because I also have Rico with his mother's necklace.
Everyone just
It's
has a
what-
love. I mean, I
Your
connect to
collective,
some
your
of their
collective
mother.
your collective group focus is protecting your necklaces. That's the drive.
Well, actually, my dad has my mother's necklace, so I'm the odd one out.
Wow. So connections. Blank takes issue with your methods. Perhaps they have a point, but you certainly can't admit that to them. Is that Baraka or your mom? Or no, Baraka or one of the characters, other PCs. Oh, Baraka's your lodestar. So
Yeah,
who takes issue with your methods?
I think Rico.
Rico? Okay. Rico takes issues with your methods.
That's fair. That's fair.
You're more high-minded, and he's more about survival.
Yeah,
I see it.
which is perfect.
Okay. Cool. Ah, damn. It's with this
like
jam that we move on to our next character, Yuka.
Oh.
So, Yuka, we're moving back along the line now. You're up next. Now that we know everybody's basics, let's figure out your specifics, shall we? History. Who is the current head of your lineage? We figured that out. How do you love and frustrate each other? We figured that out. I mean, do you love this guy at all? This Northern Waterlife tribe leader?
I think, you know, it's... So, we established it's my father.
Yeah.
So, the sort of... to me, Yuka's like a bookworm and really into like getting better and studying, and she respects her father for her knowledge about all this stuff, and she looks up to her in that way. But she also like is very, you know, doesn't allow for other opinions in the household. So that's like frustration.
Yeah. So what close member of your lineage wants to revolutionize it? Presumably somebody else put these progressive ideas in your head. Is that
Honestly, I think it's Nakoma. Yeah, I think we sort
Nakoma?
of...
Okay.
Yeah, Nakoma had is the closest sort of...
So, Nakoma kind of swayed you away from this path. What do you carry that reminds you of the place most associated with your lineage? And it's not a betrothal necklace.
No, it's not a necklace. I don't know. God, I don't know.
It could be anything, you know.
Yeah, it could be. I can't. God, I need to like randomize on a trinket table. I'm so
Ring.
Yeah, my mother's wedding.
A handbag.
It's not anything that my mother owns. I'll promise you that.
Maybe it's like, you know, a seal. Like your family's seal. Like literally what they use to show that they're the ones writing so-and-so letter. Or something similar.
Yeah.
Like a scroll of lineage or something.
Yeah, maybe something in that order.
So what part of your lineage's identity is most important and valuable to you as a person? You know, what's the good part about being part of a Northern Water Tribe heiress?
I think she just like, well, she's really proud of the sort of the waterbending skills taught there, and just the beauty of the place. And specific, I think the sort of healing magic that's all. She's always been really like interested in that and sort of protecting that.
Sweet. I dig it. Just proud of your heritage is great waterbenders.
Yeah.
And you're a healer, so maybe specifically the healing that's been developed in the north. Great. So Blank has major concerns, fears, or grievances with your lineage and with you by proxy. I guess that's Nakoma.
That's Nakoma. Yeah.
Blank seems free of their past in a way I wish I could let go of mine. Hearing them talk about the future feels amazing. That's got to either be Bashara or Rico.
Well, this depends. Just like if this is someone I know, how I know them. Which I'm drawing a bit of a blank on.
I think we've somehow established that Rico was in the Northern Water Tribe at some point, running into Nakoma. So maybe there was some sort of incident there that set you on your separate paths. You know, maybe Rico, you were like a free spirit. You did some thievery there, and you bumped into the two cousins here.
Maybe he was hired to break Nakoma out of Nakoma. No.
And for them, it was a groundbreaking moment, and for you, it was just another Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
Wait, you remember me? Who are you?
Who are you and what are you doing here?
You have no idea how well that narrows it down.
So you really admire the fact that Rico's not bound by any blood or has a very free spirit.
Yeah.
And that's great. Perfect. Okay, I think that's all the questions we had for you. And by the way, I hope y'all are writing some of this down.
Oh, I am. In my piece of paper, I actually have.
Okay. If you want to like update your PDFs at the
Yeah,
end,
I have.
and just send the updated ones to me, that'd be nice. Okay.
Can you send me how everyone knows me, because that's hard to keep up.
We'll figure that out as we go. It looks like we'll have time to do like a kind of inciting incident here. This session.
Sweet.
So hopefully that'll kind of instill a lot of this stuff in your brains instead of us just talking about it.
We know everybody in the brains.
So up next we got Baraka Poe.
Yes.
Okay. So Baraka, you need to
Oh.
name your adversary. Someone significant and powerful. Oh wait, we kind of established that. Yeah, we gave him a name. Never mind. It was rich. It was rich douche. Like that was
Yes.
rich gold.
I was going to put dispose of them as my.
Whoa.
Oh,
Mark.
you mean depose them? Depose
Okay.
them?
What does that mean? I couldn't.
That
find-
means remove them from their position of power,
Yes.
Jesus.
which you
Sounds
could
perfect.
do by disposing of them. But you know, the important thing about it is important to clarify here, because as you'll notice, all of these have to do with breaking down not their position of power, not just physically killing them. Right? It's about fighting against the system that's messed with you, and you always have a new adversary. So whenever you get rid of this guy, there's a new one, or maybe it just changes when a new one comes along.
I was gonna discredit him since I can't. You know.
Okay, you know something's up with this guy. He's a skeevy landlord.
Yeah.
And maybe well, we can tie that in as we go. You'll see when we start. So you're from
Can we just
Bossing
call-
Say.
Can we just call him Rich Douchebag, though? That'd be...
That's literally his name. If we like anglicized it, would be like Rich Goldman.
No, Gold Digger.
cool.
That's his wife.
Bowen Kim.
That's...
So
But they
so
call
you're
her Gold Digger for a different reason.
so you're because she's from the Earth Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you met your good friend Junke in he's from Umashu, so you left Bossing Say, but let's establish some history here before we do that. What injustice has driven you to use your strength for good? Already established that. You lived on the streets, screwed over by nobles. Who represents the kind of positive strength and force you want to embody? I think that's a great question. Do you have a role model?
I think it's the Avatar.
Nice. And maybe like Avatar Roku? That'd be
Yes.
awesome, because you could meet him. Maybe that's like your dream. So yeah, you idolize Avatar Roku. Cool. I like that. Bold choice. Good choice.
It'd be really Earth Kingdom to simp for the Avatar before, though. What was her name again?
Kyoshi.
Yeah, Avatar Kyoshi.
There's actually a lot of cool stuff going with Kyoshi's legacy in this era. In fact, one thing that might have enraged you about the nobles... Okay, you know what? Hold on. I should tell you this now, Lee, because this will be important for you if you idolize the Avatar. And it's
They
a really easy
destroyed
way
the
to tie it
temples.
in. They didn't destroy the temples. Let me find it. So basically, here it is. So Kyoshi set up like the Earth Sage Order, which is exactly as it sounds. It's an order of Earthbender sages who meant to, carry on tradition and so forth. They lost a lot of influence, and then Earth King Jialun who became the king of the Earth Kingdom, right around the time you were born, I would think. The 46th Earth King. And the king of Ba Sing Se specifically, so you might have even personally seen him on, like, parades through the city. Anyways, one night he sent out Dai Li agents, rounded up every last Earth Sage, and basically disappeared them. And ended the Earth Sage Order, which has been opened up as Royal Learning Halls. So that's something very specific that the nobility, and specifically Jialun, did, that you could resent quite heavily. You have this personal landlord thing, which I think is good because it's good to have a personal thing, but that's a very easy... That's a very significant systemic thing. And specific thing that Jialun did that could drive you to be very angry. Maybe you were even taken in by a monastic order when you lived in Ba Sing Se and were an orphan. How does that sound?
It sounds good.
Okay. Do you feel inspired by that?
Yeah, I do. I can make use of that.
Okay, perfect. So, you really like the Earth Sages, Jialun disappeared them, and that's how you ended up on the streets.
Okay.
And that makes you scared of the Dai Li as well, by the way. Who
yeah,
tried their...
the Secret Service.
Yeah, literally. There was no war in Ba Sing Se style stuff. So, who tried their best to teach you restraint, calm, and thoughtfulness? Going off of what we previously established, an Earth Sage of some kind. If you'd like, we can name him now, using our handy-dandy naming table. Sorry, I just really like this table.
Yeah.
Earthman.
Earthman. Your old... The guy who took you in... Shu Fen. That means good fragrance.
I thought you were going to go with eternal respect.
No, let's go with Shu Fen. Shu Fen the sage. Shu Fen tea. Good fragrance poem. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also have an idea for what trinket I have.
Go on.
His wooden flute.
Okay, when he disappeared, you ran into the temple, but nobody was there. You scrambled around crying, and all you found was his wooden flute, and now you carry it with you. Love it. Great. So let's just look at your connections here. Blank has a way to solve problems with words instead of fists. It's really impressive. The second one, I think we've established, is going to be Bashara. Right, I worry Blank won't be able to hold their own when things get tough. I'm going to toughen them up. That's Bashara. But who solved problems with words instead of fists, and it's really impressive. That sounds like Nakoma.
What do you think, Koma?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to have, like, a strong history together. Maybe you just ran into each other recently, and you immediately respected Nakoma.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Got it written down.
I mean, if you went to the south near Omashut and met Bashara there, be a way to meet Nakoma. Or maybe you just met while you're on your way to the Eastern Air Temple. Okay, cool. I guess it's time for our last character. We're almost there, y'all. We're actually making pretty good time. This is about the time I expected session, like, our setup to take.
Saving the best for last, of course.
So, last but not least, we got Riko Juke.
That is I.
So let's figure out a little bit more about you. You're from Ember Island.
That I am.
I guess you're a player. You were a thief. Specifically, how did you come to feel that the only way to survive was to break the rules?
When the night I left and realized that I would not have any food or anything to drink because an 11-year-old could not find work
Right.
in Ember Island.
And just as a reminder to everybody, why did you leave?
Because I killed my parents in a house fire by accident.
Thank you. Who kept trying to reach a kind hand out towards you only to be rebuffed? That's a good question.
Ooh. That is a good question. I was playing around with the idea that Rico was a part of a gang. So maybe one of the gang leaders who recognized a lot of pain in him.
Yeah, but no matter what he did, he would be rebuffed.
Yeah, he'd be. It would just be jokes or something in return.
Yeah. Who is ready to do anything to break you of your bad habits?
I'd have to say my father.
And we see how that worked out.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mr. Juke.
Yes. Or no, Mr. Shatan.
Mr. Shatan.
Because he changed his last name, so
right.
it'd be easier.
And so nobody knows your secret identity, including your friends.
Not yet.
Or maybe you confided it in your gang friend who reached out to you, and why don't we name them now?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Kayo Kudan, Good Cliff, or Kayo Yuka. Kayo Yuka, Good Reason.
Yeah, I like it.
Kayo Yuka.
That's a good one. Good reason.
Okay. What is your favorite possession that you stole, swiped, or otherwise acquired illegitimately?
Does nabbing my mother's necklace
Oh
from the
my
fire
God.
count?
Fine.
Well, it was originally going to be a part of it, and then everyone else was like, "Oh, necklace." I'm like, "Oh crap."
No, we're committing. You got a necklace. You all have necklaces. You're the necklace clan. You're the necklace gang now.
For the record, I want to be. I want everyone to know that I did not pick out my mother's necklace as one of my items.
Yes.
I'm unique.
Which is why you'll never be a true member of Necklace Gang. Sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah. I always feel like an outsider.
So
imposter syndrome for you guys.
I like how we established that, like, you know the two waterbenders really well, and then you put for your connections the other two, which is fine.
Oh, that was because I thought I was going to be the lodestar for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just made it before everything. But
that's fine. Did you want to fill up the other
change.
ones? Well, it's your call, but it seems like you know the waterbenders better. So.
I mean, I know it seems like I know everyone except Baraka, really.
Yeah. So Blank is way too uptight, too trapped in themselves. They need to break the rules. I mean, that's literally Yuka's theming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
pretty much. Yeah, I'm changing that to Yuka.
Okay.
Yuka.
And then Blank is amazing, and I hope they like me. Maybe they're worth playing it straight. Who's that?
It has to be someone who can be as wild and, like, you know, have as much fun as he can, but they're more mature about it.
Bashara Hang, perhaps?
I could see that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And there we go. That is mostly session 0 done. Mostly. So, how are you all feeling? Do you feel into it? Do you feel inspired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming together.
You sound a
Like
little
this.
enthusiastic, just a little.
Nervous, you know.
So let's figure out the main hook now. What I figured we'd focus on first, and I'm just gonna spoil it just so that we can get the theming ready. Basically, in the Eastern Air Temple area. You know what? Let's just go to the map background here. Bring to the token layer. Okay, so this is the Eastern Air Temple, right here. Actually, what am I doing? Why be on this page when we have the play map page for this specific purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, you tell us that, Core. Why do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
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 And you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go get the one with the legend really quick, so we can actually see what the heck we're looking at. I mean, I can, or I'll grab the legend separately.
Yes.
That's fine. Wait. Oh, I gotta do this, do this, do this. Save this. Map legend. Save that. Upload that. And then we can all figure out what the heck we're actually looking at on this map. So. This not... Oh, I'm not in player mode. That's why. If we look at the map here, folks, we'll just let it load in on the client side. It will load in. Oh, okay. Whew. So I have y'all. What I figured is we could all start right here. You see these two islands? This island, I'm not sure if it even has a name. This is the Eastern Air Temple, which is one of the most populous, beautiful temple, grows in the mountains. There is a conflict going on here. The world has entered a state of industrialization. It's right at the beginning of it. It hasn't happened yet, but the Fire Lord will start building, massive metal ships, and people are starting to use coal and mining and need lots of metals. And it just so happens that there is a massive canyon right here on this island that has a lot of very rare metals.
Oh,
no. Several Earth pioneering Earth Kingdom merchants have decided this is a great place to start mining. And the monks of the Eastern Air Temple allowed this because they just kind of want to get along with everybody. And there's a lot of internal conflict in the Air Nation right now about cooperation versus, seeking the more spiritual side of things. Whole thing with the guiding wind, we can explain that as we go. Suffice to say, they kind of allowed this to happen. And now there's a bit of an issue where there's a spirit that is been aroused to life by this strip mining and is attacking random villages. So I figured that would be a nice first plot hook. Dealing with that.
Sounds fun.
That might be a good way to bring you all together. So with that in mind, as like the first focus of this campaign, do you feel the theming playing out there? Does that inspire you all as characters?
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, it does actually.
Do you think that would...
Sounds really good.
You think, yeah, and that I think that would play really well into the characters we've established here as kind of.
I was thinking maybe this would be something like where I was sent by my father to look into the mining operation specifically, and then I get more interested in helping people out.
Nice.
Like
I like it.
In the sense that like this is like the first task is maybe taking over some duties is like, oh, look into this, like if the water tribe can slice some of this sweet ore. And then
Yeah, Rico is there to literally try to steal from
Steal the
either
gold.
steal precious metals or steal from the monks. You know, who cares?
Baraka is there to meet the monks and learn a bit about airbending.
And you brought your good friend
And
Chucky with
being-
you? Maybe, to help him? Sorry, go on. Sorry.
You mean Bashara?
But fuck, yes. Bashara. Baraka
Yes.
and Bashara. Two good friends. Cool. Great. Bashara, and like I said, there's that kind of new age spiritualism going around right now, where people who are not of the Air Nation are kind of visiting and adopting this like pseudo Air Nation philosophy. And the Air Nation's happy to expand out that philosophy because they think it's a genuine good. Obviously, we'll see whether or not that's the case as we play the game. And that just leaves Nakoma.
Okay. Sorry, what? Sorry, I zoned out for a moment.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
did you hear the hook at least?
I heard the hook. I just don't know what we're doing right.
We're just
Like-
figuring out, you know, what each of you is doing here.
Okay. That.
It could just be that, you know, this is the first time that your cousin is down south in a while.
Yeah.
And you want to go visit them.
I want to go see them and see if she's finally breaking out the mold.
Yeah, so you go to visit Yuka. That's
Maybe
fine to
Yuka's
start.
been there for a little bit and sent like a letter to Nakoma being like, "What's up, cuz? What of it? You vibing?"
You're vibing
Okay.
down here.
Cool. Great. So, Jack, you didn't miss much, because this whole thing was just session 0. We were just figuring out the characters, figuring out the basics of the game. And now I think we're finally just about ready to start. What do y'all think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plan now is for us to play through the game and figure out the mechanics kind of as we go. Because there's a difference between reading
Gotta
them and actually playing them out so we internalize them. So it'll be touch and go as we go, but at least we can figure out the basic settings now. Great. So with that in mind, we're at about the halfway mark anyways. Why don't we take 10 minutes here? And when we come back, it'll be time to start Avatar Legends.
Sweet.
Yay.
Sweet.
Woot.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
And let's see if I can't find some nice background. I made whole new playlists for this because I wanted to find ones that were in the the Avatar theming spirit, like the music. This one. Actually, that's less so, but like ones with Kalimba and stuff. This one. Oh, like this one. Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back in 10. I guess I'll put the usual intermission thing here. Actually, I'm gonna put it in Herculaneum, which means I'll put it on the Streamlabs stream itself.
Oh. I'm glad I have a reference for my character.
George, everybody can hear you snorting on the stream.
Sorry. No, I got like bevo.
Oh yeah, it is.
Sinus.
It's okay.
Sinus problem.
Me too. When spring comes around, every time, you know.
Guarantee. But there, if there's one guarantee when spring rolls around, nerds are going to get their allergies.
That's good.
Jeez.
No, I've been suffering with bad throat for a while since I had COVID, so
Yeah.
it's annoying.
I'm not sure if I never tested positive for COVID, but I feel like I must have gotten it at some point. Although
Well, I
I'm
mean,
triple
It's like
vax
the Walking
now.
Dead.
George really is making this an ASMR stream, though.
It's like that bit in The Walking Dead, but they figure out that everyone's sick with it.
Hmm.
That's how COVID is right now. Everybody's got it, they just don't know it.
Had COVID for a while, and that sucked. I definitely know if I have it.
So I think it's
Plus
about
wearing a mask doesn't aid.
it's about time to jump back into things, eh? The time?
Oh, by
Yeah,
the
it's
way,
about time.
I saw those reward points you forgot to mention.
Yes, I wasn't going to mention them until we started, so I was actually going to mention them now that we are back from intermission. Thank you. Yeah, so just a heads up to the players and to anybody who's watching. First of all, welcome back. Is everybody back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Wow.
Woo!
Salty, you there?
Oh, I should be.
Okay, there's Salty. And Lee, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bark.
So, welcome back. It's time to start doing some actual Avatar Legends. But before we do that, as per usual, just some housekeeping. We'll be doing some regular D&D Total Improv on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday. Regular one-shots D&D, so tune in for those. Oh yeah, I love this song. As well, this is going to be happening every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, hopefully. So make sure, if you haven't yet and you've been enjoying this, I mean, we haven't even started yet, really, but, you know, if you anticipate this being good, you should follow the channel, and we'll be doing this every Monday, same time, same place.
This will keep going until we get a TPK or Corb dies.
Man, if we get a TPK in the game that specifically says you're not supposed to die,
Hmm.
that
Where you can't die.
I'll consider that like a GM. That's gonna go on my wall. That's gonna be my GM diploma.
I killed everyone in Avatar Legends with a TPK, regardless of the system.
Yeah. So, as just a heads up to our players and to folks watching, you know, I turned off most of the reward points we used for Total Improv, and we don't have the Summonator on. However, I did add a few custom rewards for this. You can spend 1,000 points to relieve fatigue. You can spend 1,200 points to bestow fatigue. And I made a different summon spotlight for 700 that will just be, you know, a way for characters to give an aside if you'd like them to. This is going to be a pretty straight-run campaign. Like, it's not going to be... It probably will get goofy and wacky, but I'm trying to run this for realsies because this is also a way for me to play the game. But, you know, as you can feel free as audience members to help out the PCs or harm them as you wish with those fatigue points and draw out a little more character with the spotlight summoning.
Hey Corb, there's
Yes.
the 700 one, is it there? Just the relieve and bestow.
Oh, okay. Let me turn that on then. Thank you for the catch.
Anything to help, my man.
And by the way, these avatars, these avatars that you're seeing here are made through Pi Crew. There's a specific avatar one if you'd like to make one yourself. Oh,
and I assume you made a lot of them for the NPCs.
I did not. Because I wasn't sure how we were gonna handle this. Like, this is a way of experimenting around. I could prepare a bunch of tokens, but given how loose this game is, I don't know if it's useful to prep like that. I have a bunch of image assets just for scene setting, but this is basically gonna be all theater of the mind. Like, we're not doing overhead maps or anything. It wouldn't even make sense given how
Yes.
combat works. So this is going to be mostly theater of the mind, which is why I thought it was so important to have funny little animated avatar tokens for you all talking, because that's going to be
Blah,
where
blah,
most
blah.
of the action happens. Okay, summon spotlight avatar. Summon a spotlight. Summon an aside from a PC to talk a bit about moment. We'll make that. Actually, you know what? I think I feel comfortable making that 500, and we'll just put a cooldown timer on that of like
An hour.
20
10
minutes.
6 weeks.
20 minutes, I think, is good.
6 weeks.
How many minutes are in 6 weeks?
A lot.
4,742.
Okay, 1,100.
I've made that up. I don't know if that's real.
Okay, it's probably more. Are you
I
all
think
ready to
that's like
start
a
some
couple
gosh
days.
darn Avatar Legends?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah,
Water. Do we get the water earth thing intro thing?
sure.
What?
Oh, yeah.
But I gotta find the right track for that in that case.
It'll only take a few minutes.
How does this
Yeah.
this feel? No, it doesn't feel as that's good, but not as showy. What about this one? I just made these playlists too, so I don't know what sounds like what yet. And actually, before we start, we might as well do a little refresher here for Roll20 to make sure that it runs properly. Just, kick its rear in gear a little.
Roll20 hasn't had to do much today, so
Yeah, make sure the
Not
API
yet.
knows we're still here. Because I made all these playlists today, and I think they're pretty good, but I don't know,
What they are and what they do. YOLO.
I don't remember which is which. The problem.
rock,
Too low. I think that first one was
paper, scissors.
Ooh, artifact. Yeah, here we go. Fire, water, earth, air. For many years, the four nations lived in harmony. And then they kept living in harmony, because the Fire Nation hasn't invaded yet. That's the intro. There you go.
The Fire Nation got too bored and
The
cooked
world needed
coffee.
the Avatar, but just when the world needed him most, he was right there, keeping balance. So
Not as
everybody was
Captain.
cool and chill. Avatar Roku was a pretty good avatar. He's kept the world in balance so far, but underneath the peaceful veneer of the various nations lies a fomenting unrest. The southern and northern water tribes stay in conflict, although they show a good outward face. The Fire Nation finds itself in turmoil. Although they've overcome the succession crisis of previous years, they now remain in flux as the philosophy of the surgent, outwardly facing airbender Mox seeks to overcome the rigid imperialism that's arising with the Fire Lord. The Earth Kingdom, although in a state of peaceful industrial prosperity, is ruled by a tyrant, not afraid to disappear those who move against him, including the now enigmatic and disappeared Earth Sages, once revered. And the Air Nation finds itself in almost a civil war, as a philosophical one, as they decide between whether to follow a more spiritual, isolated path or to reach out to the other nations and extend their philosophy, but at the same time, subvert themselves to the interests of nobles. Our story takes place near the Eastern Air Temple, where our heroes have all gathered for varying reasons, find themselves in the same place, Earth Kingdom merchants, eager to spur on the new industrial era that's come, have started heavy mining on the island. But it's angered the spirits, and chaos has begun to reign. But for our characters, all they know is that their story has just begun. And that, so welcome to Avatar Legends, the Book of Roku, where our story now starts. And I think, we'll start with Nakoma and Yuka, who have just met up in a small Earth Nation village. Near the banks of this great canyon. The resolution of this village isn't great, but the spirit is there. The birds chirp on this beautiful spring day. You can see the Eastern Air Temple on a mountain only a few miles away. Yuka, you've been staying here at the behest of your father for the last little while. Of course, he's offered you funds for to keep a small house near some rice fields. And your cousin Nakoma has just arrived.
Hi.
Hi.
It's been a while.
It has.
She goes in for like a very awkward, like, half hug.
I go in for a full hug.
How are you? Where have you been? It's been so long since I've heard anything.
Oh, me and my mum traveled down to the southern water tribe.
Oh,
Things weren't doing so well up with us up north, so my mum thought it would be best to separate and let me do what I want, which was to train and waterbending and learn more techniques.
oh, you've learned technique?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
and I kind of show off.
Sure. This is a great way to learn to learn how this game works, actually. So,
How the game work.
yeah. So, you want to bend to impress your friend, right? And
Yes.
This is bending, So, this would be a use of what is the move called rely on skills and training.
Okay.
Rely on skills and training. To overcome an obstacle, you gain new insight, perform a familiar custom, blah, blah, blah. You roll with focus. So what's your focus score?
My focus score is a 0.
0. Okay. So just roll 2d6. And then we add 0 to that. So that's a 7. So what that means is, on a 7 to 9, you do that imperfectly. It leads to unexpected consequences. So what are you trying specifically to do?
I'm just kind of trying to, like, not really a water whip, because that's a move, but, like, something...
Well, you can. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's loose like that.
Yeah, very, like, trying to do, like, a water whip, but, yeah.
Okay, so you try to do a water whip, and although you lash out, you accidentally hit your cousin on the foot. Yuka, it doesn't, like, hurt, but it does sting a little, like, ow.
Ow. Wow. An ow. That's impressive. That's so aggressive.
I know, right?
Well, I've been practicing waterbending too, just sort of, well, the things that My
So
dad.
you stuck with the traditions that were set for us.
Well, they're there for a reason. You know, they've worked so far, so
They're
reason
outdated.
to go against them too much. You know.
Yeah, but they're outdated.
Oh, Nakoma, are you? I mean, this is a little ham-fisted now. But are you calling someone out to live up to their principle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you're calling out your friend to live up to their principle, which in your case, your case is that they should shift away from tradition, right?
Yeah.
Or no? Sorry,
Yeah.
you're trying to shift someone's balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sis.
Which usually something only an NPC can do, but that's fine. So it's not actually you that's moving. It is Yuka. You're resisting a shift in your balance.
Okay.
So you roll. On a hit, you maintain your current balance in spite of their words or deeds. However, let's jump over here, so we can all see that your balance right now is 1 towards tradition. So I just want to make sure we're doing this right. You're rejecting any shift to your balance. To resist, you roll flat. No stat applies. On a hit, you hold strong despite their actions.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah, just roll flat. Roll 2d6.
Okay.
You rolled an 8. So, on a hit, you hold strong despite their actions and words, which means that your balance stays where it is. And you choose one response from the list of options. And I just want to make sure that's... Oh, okay, you choose one. So choose one of these to send back to coma. You can either clear a condition or mark growth by immediately acting to prove them wrong. You can shift your balance towards the opposite principle, so go further towards tradition. Or learn what their principle is, so you can learn what coma's... You already know that. If you already know, you can just take +1 forward against them. I guess you probably don't want to do that last one because you're not in combat with your cousin. So do you want to double down on the tradition?
Yeah, I think that will make her shift a little bit towards tradition.
Okay.
So
You can move that marker from +1 to +2 towards tradition.
and as in sort of in game,
Yeah.
or in the scene, she's going to be. Well, look, there's a lot of reasons why certain things are taught a certain way, and they've worked really well so far, and I've learned so much about healing magic, or healing bending, and I'm getting pretty well. I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm getting really good at it, and that's all thanks to how things are, like how things work there.
Instead of giving rationale, that's fine. Why don't you do something to show you immediately appeal to a tradition you have?
Well, I suppose I could. If the you said the water whip didn't do any damage.
Yeah, but you can heal your foot anyways, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I just healed a little bit of damage.
Okay.
on my foot, like the small bruise.
Okay. Here you go.
With a wisp of water.
So that's so now you see your cousin has further doubled down. At this point, I don't have tokens, but you know what? Here you go. Some Earth nation, the merchants that you've been staying and figuring out various economical concessions with show up. I assume you might have even been in a meeting with them when your cousin arrived. Is a cousin of yours? They say.
Oh yeah. Everybody, this is Nakoma. She's my cousin. If it's okay, she might stay here as well for a little bit.
Oh, good, good. They say. They look over at Coma. You're from the Southern Water Tribe? Coma?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know a lot about spirits?
A little bit,
Uh,
I think. Guessing I would know a little bit, but not much.
we've been talking with your cousin because we've been having some issues with a spirit around this area.
What's going on?
They call him this. They call him the Stone Dreamer. He's a big spirit, and we're not sure exactly what he. All we know is he comes out and he keeps destroying our equipment.
We're sort of trying to figure out if there's anything we can do to help, or
Would you? Well, why don't you come take a look at the canyon with us first? They say.
yeah,
Yeah,
Almost really capable. I'm sure you can help somehow.
I got some skills.
All right, come along. They lead you off.
Amazing graphics. Next gen.
So it's at this point that let's get rid of this other one in the bag. You head off to the canyon. A great canyon before you. You see there's lots of, people down there working. This is the canyon. We've been working here with the permission of the men of the Air Temple. Unfortunately, they haven't responded to our questions about intervening with the spirit, which is why we're asking the Water Tribe now. Do you sense anything? They ask.
Yuka has like fully taken out a notebook and
Yeah.
just like.
There's canyon crawlers down there, but they're not a big deal for our benders.
And how recent was this again?
It comes out every night, around the moon.
Yes,
Around
but
when the moon
like,
comes out.
But when was like the first incident?
About a month ago.
And when did you start, like, mining here?
Well, about a month ago, or a little whiles before that, a few months. We've been making pretty big breakthroughs. But about a month ago, the spirit started rampaging, and that's gummed up the works. We have to get these metals out. This is what's driving the new Earth Nation. King Giulan wants these for the Navy. This steel.
What sort of is it? Just steel that you mine here?
Steel, cobalt, diamonds, a bit of gold we find sometimes. Could you just tell us if you feel anything? They say.
Do I feel anything?
Well, that's a good question. So, what do you do? Remember, in this game, you don't choose to make a move. You do something, and then that triggers a move, as it were. But, however, in this case, you can assess a situation. If you'd like to do that. That is the one move you can say, I want to assess the situation.
Yeah, I wanna. Yeah. Assess the situation.
Okay. So, roll with creativity. What's your creativity score?
0.
Okay, roll 2d6.
Let's do it.
A 7. So that's an imperfect hit. You can ask... On a 7 to 9, you can ask one question. So you can ask, what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out / through? Who or what is in the greatest danger? You can do all of those. However, you could also just, do a perception check, I guess, which is what you're doing now. You're just like looking to. You just want to look around, like look down the
Yeah.
canyon.
Yeah.
Your eyes do immediately catch on one thing, which is a young firebender rustling down in the equipment that nobody's manning right now.
Maybe we should talk to that guy.
Who? Say the merchants. Hey! They look down, seeing they look down and see you, Rico, digging through their stuff. Hey, kid! What are you doing down there? That's Earth Nation property!
Rico is just going to look up and grab a pickaxe. Ready for a day's work, boss.
So you're tricking?
Yes.
Badly? Okay. No, wait, that's not a good. Okay. Yeah, I love their hats too.
Did we establish? Sorry, go on.
Okay. Sorry, we'll get to everybody, but do you have a specific question?
No, I was just asking. Did we establish if we know Rico immediately? Like
You
do we know-
recognize Rico, yes, because apparently you know him.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't recognize him from this high up.
Can recognize that smirk anywhere.
I'll turn to Nakoma and just whisper, "Is that Rico?"
Yes.
There we go. There's Rico's theme.
What is
Okay,
he
so
doing
you're
here?
Rico, you're rolling to trick. So when you trick an NPC,
Hold on, I
roll
can't
with
hear the
create.
music.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is really loud. When you trick an NPC, roll with creativity. On a hit, they fall for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
And you got your sheet set up, so we got a fancy graphic there.
Oh yeah, I can actually leave my fucking cheat.
No worries. We'll have them. If you want, you can set them up. They're not like obligatory for this game, because all they are is for the fancy rules, basically. Mixed success. So you can.
I just have it so I have to type it.
Okay. So mixed success, Rico. So you can choose one of these options. Option 1, they stumble. You take +1 forward to act against them, so the next roll you make with these merchants gives you a +1. Step 2, they act foolishly. They give you an additional opportunity. Step 3, they overcommit. They're deceived for some time. I assume you want to go for option 3.
Yeah, let's do that.
So they go, right, sorry. They look back sheepishly at the Water Nation. I mean, we didn't just assume he was a thief because he's Fire Nation or anything. Everybody's welcome to work here.
All right, we're just gonna go chat down there, and
Yeah.
we'll rotate back to you. Just check up on you later if we assess something
Right.
new.
Ha ha! Oh, ha! Watch out for the spirits. Bye.
Sure will. All
They
right,
walk
let's
off
go.
embarrassed.
We walk down to Rico.
Oops, I'm not moving your conditions.
Rico,
Rico.
it is you, right?
You descend down. Well, you descend down the side of the chasm towards Rico. Rico, did you just wait there for them?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh shit.
You're coming
Okay,
through.
cool. Rico's just like, oh, who's Rico? I'm Mining McMinerton.
Look,
Sorry.
it's been a few years, but I do recognize you. Or has it been years? It's been a
Uh,
while.
You decide.
It's been like a little bit of time, I suppose.
He's
I'd
still
say-
look
I'd-
the same
I'd
as
say a
before.
year at most.
What are you
Out of
doing?
character, I'd say a year at most.
Yeah, a year. Okay. What are you doing here?
Why are you rifling through these people's things?
Listen, thieving don't pay no more. You gotta go for the big guns now, and I heard that this gold
I think that's still thieving. You said
Yeah.
thieving don't pay no more, and then you described an act of thieving.
It's technically no one's. I mean, they mined it out of the earth. It's no one's yet.
It's the Earth Kings.
Yeah, it's they set up this mine and they mined it out. So supposedly it is sort of they did most of the work.
I don't know. Listen, I am not gonna be told how to do my job. Okay, this is my goal now. I had eyes on it first. I called dibs.
We don't really. I don't really. Well, we're sort of looking in. Have you heard about these spirits?
Spirits?
Yes,
What spirits?
Have you been here for a while?
No, I just arrived today.
Oh, well, there's supposedly some sort of spirit rampaging around this mine. That's angry about the mining, I suppose.
You really believe in that nonsense? It's
Do I
probably
believe
just
in spirits?
Oh, sorry. It's probably just some air nomads trying to, trick the Earth King out of here.
That's not very like them.
Yeah, but the air nomads are pretty chill. They don't really do that sort of thing. If it was the Fire Nation, maybe.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
No, I mean, well, I don't mean like. I just mean the nation, not fire benders.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. All Fire Nation is bad. Yeah, I see how it is.
Yuka, you're
really-
rescued from this awkward moment by canyon crawlers. Canyon crawlers appear. By the way, you have control of your tokens now.
Oh, sweet.
I put their names down. Canyon crawlers appear on the side of the cliffs here.
Oh, jeez.
For this, so we're not entering combat. They're like, because canyon crawlers don't even have animals don't have stats in this game. It's more that you'll have to think creatively about how to repel these guys, hopefully without killing them, unless you do. So basically, what do you do?
Shit. Rico's gonna run.
Rico, no, we need the help.
Don't run.
Rico, you're running. So that's you trigger a skill. You push your luck. To push your luck, roll with passion.
Ooh. Full success.
Okay, you run. Rico, you run. These canyon crawlers, their great snouts and their red eyes now fixate upon Yuka and Nakoma, who are left alone. Yuka, Nakoma?
Nakoma, you got any good ideas?
Fight.
Okay. I got your back. Suppose I'm like giving Nakoma the get the lead on this one.
Okay. Nakoma. So we're not using fighting techniques. You can just, for instance, say you want to do bending, and then we rely on your skills and training. Unless you're doing something extra fancy.
Will I consider these a superior opposition, or not really?
No, you're benders. They're animals.
Yeah, there's animals, so yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my bending.
Okay, so you're gonna rely on your skills and training.
Yes.
To overcome an obstacle. So, roll focus. And you can just describe what you do flavor-wise.
Yeah,
That'll
I'm
affect the outcome.
send water waves, little spouts of water.
Where's the water coming from?
My water skin.
Okay. You take out and you just splash him to try and whip him away, scare
Yeah.
him off. Actually, you know what? I think that's intimidation. So to roll intimidation, intimidate, roll passion. 8, mixed success. So you choose one of these options. The enemy either runs to escape or get back up. They either they back down or keep watch. They give in with a few stipulations, which is not going to happen because they're canyon crawlers. Or they attack you but off balance, which you're not in combat. So do you want them to run away or do you want them to back down?
Run away.
Okay. They turn and they realize you're not worth it, and they turn and leave.
Wow. That was impressive. Where did you learn that?
Oh, you know, I had a master in the Southern Water Tribe. The Southern Tribe, you know. I wouldn't have learned any of that stuff up north. So.
You look and see that Rico's already run into that
Rico!
chasm. You run off after him. Rico, get back here! And that seems like a good time to cut to our other pals.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep
That's
you
fine, don't worry.
And we got to go hard on the character introductions.
Yeah.
So
That's fine.
as you said, Baraka and Bashara, you went straight to the Eastern Air Temple.
Two bees.
Right?
Yes, that's where I'd like to go.
Okay, so that's something I did have
Yeah.
prepared. Here's the Eastern Air Temple.
Ooh,
Uh,
ready.
so you're amazed to arrive. It's probably the first time either of you have been to an air temple, and it's obviously, as you can see, quite the sight. This amazing stretching this amazing mountaintop village filled with beautiful foliage, these amazing buildings with statues all around, and everyone's living in harmony. You watch as some sky bisons fly by around you in amazement.
I always wonder how those things fly.
Yes, that is an odd technique they have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like some sort of wizardry or something. I'm not sure.
It's probably like magnets.
Probably. I'm not 100% sure. So where do you want to go? Just...
Oh, Baraka, you're leading the way. Your friend Bashar is here to tag along.
Yep. So I don't know the air temple at all.
I heard the air nomads make some wild tea.
Ooh.
Want to get some?
Yeah, sure. I'll have some jasmine tea.
Okay.
I look around.
You look around.
I'm just looking around at the amazing architecture and everything. I'm just astonished how this whole thing is. Wow.
There's an air nomad meditating not far from you.
I don't know if he's paying attention. I'm just gonna give him a nod and move on to try and find a tea shop.
He nods back at you.
I walk towards him and bow.
He hands in sleeves. He bows back. Earth Nation visitor. Welcome.
You know where we can get some tea?
He says, yes. Here, and he gestures next to him where there's a tea set. It's about break time, he says, and he stretches out his back, rubs his
Oh,
mustache,
you're right
and
there.
says, seems like a good time for tea.
Seems
Would you like-
pretty good times.
Want some tea?
Do you
Indeed.
have jasmine tea?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
He
Thanks.
takes out his spark. He says he takes out his sparks rocks and starts clicking them together, but it's having some troubles. If only somebody could light a fire for this man. Somebody with the ability to create
I'm just
fire
gonna-
at will.
I'm just gonna like. Is he like
Yeah, it's over like a little
wooden
kindling
already?
underneath. It's it's a little kindling.
I'm just gonna like flick my hand or like do like a little click, and fire just comes out of my finger and just goes to the kindling.
Yeah, and we don't need to roll for that because there's no uncertainty there. Easy move for a firebender. He
What?
says, "Oh, thank you."
Sorry.
What?
No problem.
Yes,
I
thank
don't know
you.
if you were startled about that, but
I'll put the kettle on. He puts the kettle on. Oh, are you tourists? Usually, firebenders go to the Western Air Temple after, buying into the philosophy, as it were. What are you doing all the way here out east?
I wanted to see some sights and everything. I've never been to this sort of this side of the temple, so I thought, why not? You know, it's an amazing place. Like your structures are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, he says.
So not a problem.
Now this is a master monk you're talking to, so you
Yeah,
watch as,
so
like,
I'm being very, very.
he stares into
cautious.
your soul and he cocks his head and he says, "That's the only thing that drove you away?"
Mainly because of my father. I won't go into details about that, but
Yes, it seems like you're not ready to talk about your father, he says. Would you like to resist an NPC shifting your balance?
yes, I would very much like to attempt to resist this
Okay.
person.
So he's trying to shift you towards... Actually, well, maybe... He's trying to shift you away from restraint. So just roll flat.
Okie dokie, Mary and Cookie to these. An 8.
An 8. Mixed success. So you succeed. You resist having your balance shifted. You can either mark growth by acting to immediately prove this guy wrong. You can shift your balance further towards restraint. Or you can learn what his principle is.
I would like to learn this guy's principle, actually.
Okay, so you you readjust your stance and you look at this guy, and it's his principle. What is his principle? I think his driving principle is healing others, and you're able to intuit that from the way he asked that question. So you don't shift your balance or anything, but it seems he cared enough to ask.
Thank you for asking, but I really don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
It's no worries, he says. He looks over at
That's
Baraka.
understandable.
And you, Earth Nation man.
Well, I wanted to visit the Air Temple because after the loss of the Earth Sages, it was the only real place I could come.
A spiritual man, says.
Trying to be.
I see.
My master wanted me to learn how to be calm, how to learn restraint.
You're seeking a new master. Is that so?
I'm trying, yes. Have you ever heard of the Earth Sage Shufen?
Yes. It's been gone for a while.
I bring out his flute.
Oh, okay. Sure. Are you playing it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Okay. So I think that's going to trigger... So you can choose to either live up to your principle. You don't have to roll the normal stat here, but otherwise, I think you're going to be relying on your skills and training, if you'd like to roll that. Because Because I think there is a little uncertainty about how well you play this for this guy.
What would I would roll?
Rely on skills and training. That is focus. Or you can choose to live up to your principle. In which case you'd roll whatever your balance stat is. In your case, your balance stat is a +1 towards force. Okay, maybe not, actually. Because you'd be rolling a
I roll
-1.
passion.
Passion. No. Unless you're pushing
So-
Are you pushing your luck? I don't think
I'm
so.
pushing all my emotions into it.
I thought it'd be harmony.
Yeah, or it would be harmony to guide and comfort. I don't think so. I don't think you would roll passion here. You're
So
out
harmony?
of yeah. No. Roll focus.
Oh, okay. How many?
I'm just sitting there. Just
What's your
watching
focus
him.
score?
A 0.
Okay, so just roll 2d6. Or
The input value is plus
is 0. It's
0.
0. Yeah,
Just a base roll.
fail. You try playing the flute, but the memories of your old master come back to you, and while you try to play the old song he taught you, you choke as you try to hold back
You right
tears.
there?
I don't think he's with us anymore.
So I see, says the master. So you've come seeking somebody new to teach you something.
I think so.
Would you like to be my student?
I think I'm seeking spiritual healing.
Indeed. That is what most come here to do. You seem like one caught force and care, it says. Only
You
balance.
seem to know me.
I am a master, he says.
I smile at him.
I will give you the first thing to learn then. I'm looking at the techniques because I want to teach you an actual technique, given this is a new mechanic we can use. This is the first teacher, right?
I've got like a notepad
yeah.
out, just like.
So,
Generally just try to
what's
scroll
the
this guy.
base? What's the base technique you already know?
Let me scroll down. I have Overwhelm and Earth Gauntlet.
Right. Okay. Your friend, you took him with you all the way here. You seek to protect others in order to carry on the legacy of your master.
Who,
I
me?
seek to re-establish the lost Earth Sages.
Right. Then you must learn to protect your allies. I will teach you how to protect first. He suddenly stands up as the water comes to a boil next to him. And with a quick whip of his foot, he just puts out the fire to stop it.
Okay,
Needs
that's
to cool
cool.
down for a minute. He almost takes a bit of a stance, like a Tai Chi stance, as he steps up towards you. To protect an ally, he says, you must be in tune with them at all times, understand their spirit, understand their vulnerabilities. Your friend, he says to Bashara, he trusts
Yes.
you, but to protect others, they must be vulnerable to you as well. What do you do? Baraka. Baraka?
I look at can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I look at Bashara and say, "Do you want to trust me?"
I haven't trusted that many people, as you know. I can try, but it's gonna take me a long time to ever forgive my father for what he did to me. But I can certainly try.
Then I suppose I can earn your trust.
Well, I'm happy to.
Let us see how you do here. And suddenly, like he straight up just like with an air whip, just lashes out at Bashara.
Try and get into my stance. I'm just like,
Baraka, how do you react?
I throw myself in the way.
Okay.
wow.
And I use protect.
So, well, you don't know that technique yet. But you
Well,
throw
it's-
yourself,
yeah.
you Mr. President him.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say that is actually an NPC testing your or maybe you try to live up to your principle, as it were. Hold on a second. So if we go to the moves,
Moves.
we're learning. It is, as you can see, it is a bit subjective, right? How this works, but I think this is a balanced move. It seems like it, unless you're throwing yourself in front of him, so you're not relying on training, you're not pushing your luck, you're just straight up rushing to protect your friend. That means you're rolling care, which is actually a -1. When you take action in accordance with the values of a principle, mark 1 fatigue to roll with that principle instead of whatever stat you would normally roll. You're not really rolling any stat. Okay, you know what, actually? Sorry, guys. I think that just happens. You just straight up... You jump in front of him. You get whipped. Baraka. You take
Ow.
one fatigue. So, if we go to your stats on the side here, which,
Thanks.
these ones
Doing.
here, you take 1 fatigue, so we'll just color that in. Whoop! You have 1 point of fatigue now. The monk says, all right. Shows steeled courage. Must have hurt.
I've been
I'll take
hurt
you on.
before.
I'll take you on as a disciple. Oh, this is so fun and exciting. I will
I
teach
bow
you
and
how to
say-
protect.
My name is Baraka Poe.
And I'm Bashar Hang. Nice to meet you.
Who might you be?
My name is... One second. You may call me Monk. You may call me Pasang. Monk Pasang. I will teach you the technique to protect your friends. He says. So, he's gonna train you right now, right here, right now. Are you ready? Here's how we do training.
Sang?
We ask a
I'm
few
so
questions,
sorry.
and then we do a roll. So first question is your balance in line with your center, or are you free of conditions? The answer is no, so you don't get a +1 from that. Do you and your teacher share at least one background? The answer is no, so you get no bonus to that. Does your teacher agree with your reasons for training and learning? He does, so you don't get a -1. Is the technique easy to grasp based on your current training experience and skills? I would say yes. That seems right up your alley. So you don't take a -1. So basically, this is just a raw roll. So he's gonna
Raw roll.
he's gonna
I thought you
like
said-
pardon?
I thought you said he takes a +1.
No. No +1s.
Ah, my bad.
He doesn't take a -1 because his teacher agrees with his reasons. After he jumped in front of that air whip. So you don't get any negatives, you don't get any positives. Just roll a 2d6, Baraka. And basically, using Bashara as an unfortunate dummy, he tries to attack Bashara over and over as he teaches you the techniques to, to the instinct you need to instill, wax on, wax off style, to block any attacks coming for your ally. Unfortunately, perhaps because you're off balance, perhaps because of the memories of your previous master, Baraka, you failed on that acquisition. Which is good, because that's going to help us further the story. But that's bad because you don't learn the technique right away. Your heart is closed off, says Monk Pasang. You are not ready to be... Your friend is not ready to be vulnerable. You are not ready to protect him. This is fine. Growth comes to all those who truly seek it. On a miss, you can't learn the technique yet because you need another lesson before you can grasp its full use. The master will tell you what additional task you must undertake to put yourself in the correct state of mind. So, he says, it is not just Bashara you must protect. It is everyone dear to you. There is a village near here. An Earth Nation colony. Groups of miners who work. They've been beset by a spirit. Merchants come to us, constantly asking us to deal with it, but the council does not seek to do so. We are not sure if it is right to intervene, or what the right passage is. After all, we are the ones who allowed the Earth Nation to come in and start mining. Go down to the valley, to the canyon, and see if you can protect the villagers there. That is your first lesson.
Right, thank you for using me as a dummy, I guess.
When you truly protect someone, not in training, but instinctually, that is when the technique will be mastered. Or learned. And then you'll have to master it doing something else. You know what I mean.
Oh, thank you. I've forgotten your name already.
Mark Pasang says.
Sorry, thank you, Mark Pasang.
Mark Pasang, is that what you call him?
No, I said
Mark Pasang.
I tried to say his name, Monk Pasang.
He pours out some tea and says, "Before you go, would you like some tea?"
Yes, please, actually. I'm pretty sure my friend would like some.
Pours you each out some tea.
Yeah.
And says, "Bashara Heng, is it? You just came along with your friend?"
Yeah.
You must be a good friend.
My mother, to an extent, yes. I would say I'm a pretty decent friend. I like to keep to myself, though, But I keep him intact and everything, just to make sure he doesn't do anything silly, or I go off the rails sometimes and he has to control me all the time. It's fine.
Seems more like he's there to protect you.
You're not that bad.
Either way. You're not too bad yourself, but
Did you also want to learn, Mr. Hang?
I'm probably at a later date.
I understand. Not everyone
But
is
I'll
ready.
take you off on that. I'll take you up on that for eventually. But yeah.
He nods his head. You drink the tea, and he speaks to you of small things. The birds were out today. The flowers are in bloom for spring. That his sister got married a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
How old is he?
Monk Basang, you'll have to
Very
assess the
old.
situation to check his age.
I'm not here, so.
I wouldn't probably think of that. I would probably think that he's a pretty decent person, and I'm not gonna ask this what looks to be elderly gentleman his age.
He's a wise old
That would
man.
be
That's all
rude.
you gotta know.
Yeah.
When you finish, he says, "The valley
Drinking.
is only a day's walk from here. Go down now. I feel
Okay.
like a greater or allies await you. Perhaps other ones deserving of protection." Monk Basang.
Probably. Most likely. Let's say Bakar. I'm gonna put your character's name.
Baraka?
Yeah, Baraka.
You lead the way.
That's the other one. I
Uh,
don't know where we're supposed to go. You might know.
I do know where we're going.
That's good.
Bruh.
So you head off towards the canyon?
Yes.
Okay. And so our heroes head off to adventure. What awaits them
Yeah.
at the end? Will they find this spirit? What is truly causing this discord in the spirit world? And who is a true ally? Who should they be assisting in the first place? Will they be able to meet the expectations of their master? And will Yuka and Koma finally catch up to Rico? We'll find out next week. Avatar Legends.
Woo!
That was the first session of Avatar
Woof.
Legends. So good work, y'all. I think we made, like, that was mostly just scene setting, but we learned a little of the mechanics. We haven't done any combat yet, but there's the basics. That's how Avatar Legends works. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Before we go, though, we actually have one more thing we have to do. So just to figure out if you've grown at all.
No. Nope.
So at the end of every session, we sit down and we ask 4 questions. 3 to all of you, so you can decide collectively, although since the party was split this time, we might have to delegate that individually. But for everyone answered correctly, you get a point of growth. And when you hit 4, you advance. I don't want to say level up. There's a few options when you get that, but we'll cover that bridge once somebody actually gets to 4. So, first question for the party. I expect most of these will be no, because we didn't do much, but first question for the party. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? Any of y'all? Happen to any of y'all? I don't think so.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Not
Not
yet.
Not yet. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
Not yet.
I would say Nakoma tried, but failed.
I tried. Does that count?
No.
Aw.
You also each have an individual playbook question, so let's go over those one at a time, shall we? First, the idealist, Nakoma. Here's
Yes.
your growth question. Where is the growth question? Did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens or help an ordinary person with their problems? Not yet, I would say.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think the answer to all of these is going to be not yet, but, you know. Okay. Bashara,
Yes.
did you seek support or guidance from others? You
No,
you
not
declined
yet.
the guidance of the monk,
I,
so no.
I decline. I decline.
So good, good in character, not growing.
Yeah.
Good lack of character.
Trying.
But no, that's good playing to your character, right? Because I knew it would have been better.
Yeah.
We know it would have been better for you mechanically to have just been like, yeah, I'll
Mm.
take every move, but you didn't.
Mm.
Which was a good this is praise for making that decision because that's in character. Okay, Yuka. Did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effect on the world and others? Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. Baraka. You had a little growth this session. Did you make progress towards your goal against your adversary, though?
I'm my adversary.
You're at. No, you didn't make any progress towards restoring the Earth Sages or messing with Rich Goldman. So, I would say if/when you learn the protection technique, that will be progress towards that goal. But not yet. And finally, Rico. Did you get a friend to join in or approve of one of your bad habits? You were close, but they did not approve of that.
Nope.
Close though. Close, but no cigar. So basically nobody grew and nothing changed. But that's fine, because this was session 0. This was just establishing your characters, which I think we did well. I think you all had some character come out, you all had your bonds come out. And we all learned a little bit more and set the stage for the actual conflict you're going to be confronting. So I expect next session you might not fully grow, but I think all of you are going to be able to check off a few boxes.
Yay.
Great.
Sweet.
So
Moot.
that was Avatar Legends. Y'all got any questions, comments, ideas?
Want to go an hour more? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's,
Honestly,
another session.
I really enjoyed that. I would, but I have a game gotta run for clients at 7, and I need some time to rest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And do some prep.
Oof.
Yeah, I got what I'm actually being paid to do. So I will go an hour more when you're giving me that
We're
hot,
paying
that hot sweet dough.
friendship
You pay-
and good times,
yeah.
which
I
is the most valuable resource humanity has to offer.
I actually did want to thank y'all for doing this, for doing all the prep with me and getting ready and showing up, which is something commendable in and of itself. And
Yeah,
thanks for making the stream possible.
Yeah, thanks for hosting this. This is a game I've been meaning to play for a while, so it's great to get.
It's my pleasure,
Because I really love the world of Avatar, and hearing about this is like, but it's good. It's a good way to get into it because it's a very different system from what I'm used to. So.
Yes.
And I look
still
forward to what else we
Warfare,
do.
too.
I think I'm gonna enjoy, now that I'm understanding it a bit better, I'm gonna enjoy messing around with your balances a lot.
Oh, God.
I'm already really close to my end of my balance after the first session.
Yeah, you doubled down, Yuka. Remember, when you go off your balance, when you hit a +4 on that, like, you faint, basically, like you lose.
Yeah.
Whatever encounter you're in, and then there are serious consequences. But maybe Nakoma will recognize that and try to bring you back towards center.
Yeah.
I will try and center you.
Or
Center divide.
you do have the
Yuka is
yes.
Yuka is in turmoil. Please, someone help her.
You do have
It's
the
not
option
okay.
when you level up to shift your center towards one thing or the other. But yeah, I'm sure all of you will run into trouble. I'm really looking forward to playing this again. I want to continue, but I really shouldn't. But I did enjoy this, and yeah, thank y'all again. I look forward to next week when we do an actual full session of Avatar Legends. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, and don't forget, just a little homework for next week. Filling out your sheets, adding just the names and re-uploading them for me.
Yeah.
Just the names of the people you have bonds with, like the names of your fathers and mothers whose necklaces you attained. And you know, the guy who screwed you
That
over
is
and so
still
forth.
hilarious.
We'll have mothers to necklace. Look at
And-
us.
And maybe I see you've all done it now. Awesome. But filling out your Roll20 sheets. But I think you all already finished doing that. Hey, you're all done?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
And remember, what's on your Roll20 sheet, like those techniques especially, might not be available to you. Oh, but you can just add them manually. So there you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can send them manually.
And next week we'll probably do some real combat. So we'll dive into that. So, you know, if you do have any questions, concerns, ideas, etc., as always, you can DM me or put it in the group chat. And I've been liking how active the group chat is so far. And I'm gonna spend some time thinking about like the layout of this, if we want to improve the sheets or anything. So far, I think the system we have is good, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
and
see.
before I forget, while we're on this main page, we're gonna give our good friend Baraka here. So, we can talk about how to relieve fatigue next session, but maybe your friend Rico will go out on a limb and comfort you.
Take a really long nap.
Take
And
a really good nap.
yeah, and that would I think that would shift your center of balance, Rico, but we'll see. Okay, so that's the end of this session. Y'all have a nice week, and thank you everybody who tuned in and enjoyed. This, of course, will be available as a VOD, on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you missed some parts, you can always go back and rewatch. Not that there's too much to rewatch this session. And we'll be back next week with with session 1, which I'm gonna preemptively title "The Spirit in the Canyon."
Oh,
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Canyon
you'll
episodes famously good for in
Yeah.
Avatar.
I don't think you noticed, but the art I used was literally the Great Divide art. So
oh yeah.
Fun fact: the first episode I saw of Avatar was The Great Divide.
that's because they replayed it
as
so
a
much
kid.
because it was the only standalone episode, but it was also the worst because of that.
Yeah, and
anyways.
which is why I didn't get into Avatar.
Same.
You'll have to make a playlist on YouTube for the Avatar Legends.
Oh yeah, I will, for sure. And I'll have to update all the music listings here because I need to put in new ones for these new ones. So there's proper attribution, so I'm gonna be busy for a little while after this. Anyways, anything else, y'all? Jay, were you just saying I need to make a playlist?
Yeah, that's all. I just kept stuttering. So
Okay, no worries. Great. I'll see y'all next week, same time, same place, and remember those watching, and maybe you 5 will be doing a regular stream, Total Improv one-shots on Wednesday at 1 p.m. and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, both times. Peace, y'all.
yep.
Bye.
See ya.
Or actually, wait.
Bye.
We'll end this off with a raid. What am I thinking?
Oh, who we raiding?
Yeah, who are we raiding? I'll check if I got anybody I'm following streaming right now. We can raid Orion. Well, you know what? Let's go see if anybody else is streaming Avatar Legends right now.
Man, I really need to use these points. I'm up to 2,500.
Avatar Legends,
2.3.
the end of an era. Oh, these are past videos, so nobody's streaming it right now.
Yeah.
That's right, we're cornering the market.
Nice.
Well, let's go just raid somebody doing a D&D game that doesn't have a lot of views. We need a group name. Oh, they have some really cute art, too. Okay, let's go send them a raid.
Oh, that's exactly how I feel when my group was like, "Hey, we need a group name." Here.
They got some nice setup, too. I appreciate as a streamer a good layout like that. Okay. I sent off the raid.
All right.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna end the stream, and dear God, I hope